I've got an itch I can't scratch, I'm missing a piece that completes a whole part of me, an open wound scar to see. Everybody come here, gather round, welcome to the freak show, the best in town. What the hell's wrong with me? I don't get along with anybody, honestly. I've been living in my own head constantly, thoughts jumbled round, think I need a new lobotomy. Wait, all these thoughts are too negative, I don't wanna get lost in the sedative. Gotta show them what I got, I'm competitive. You know I'm about to go off, I won't let them win. I'll take a stab, I wanna chase the bag, I wanna weigh, I can change all the things I lack. I gotta face the facts, I got a taste in that. Got me obsessed with the rest, I got an itch to scratch. I'll give up everything. If I could see my dreams, make things right. 'Cause I'll do anything to make one a reality. Don't let go. I'll make things right. 'Cause I'll do anything to make one a reality.
I just wanna find a way out, sick of the venom in my brain. Running from the past, wanna escape my pain. I just wanna be a better person, I deserve this. I just wanna break these chains. Always destined for greatness, true to myself, I never fake it. Seen too many once that I sold to get famous. And when I say the truth, most really can't take it. In spite of everything I've been through, I'ma make it. Fake friends, but on my downfall is toxic. Day one, started the outlaws for profit. Now all I do is write verses, no talking. All I do is put the work in, no option. This was everything I ever wanted. Created a legacy off of me, just being honest. And the fake ones hate, but it's all to no avail. They wanna see me lose, but you know I never fail.
I'll give up everything, daunting, if I can see my dream, make things right. 'Cause I'll do anything, want a reality. I'll give up everything, daunting, if I can see my dreams, make things right. 'Cause I'll do anything, make one a reality. Don't let go. Don't let go. I'll make things right. 'Cause I'll do anything, make one a reality.
Wait a second, we have a show? I was just watching Voice of College Football, West Virginia smacking the shit out of Pitt. I'll tell you what, guys, they do those simulation games, and I'm getting all sorts of I forgot what the show's going to be about. Wait a second. Let me check my notes. That's right. West Virginia, it's been reported that Mountaineer Paul and another source were saying it's possible that there might be another quarterback in the mix. I have a little bit of a hot take on that. It's not necessarily a great thing, but we're going to talk about it tonight. So it's good to see everybody here. Man, it's some folks, it's been a minute. Caden's in the house. Eric Saab. So, if you guys don't know, BYU had a quarterback named Jake RETZLAFF last year. This kid went 11-2. 11-2. Not a bad quarterback. Okay. Now, before I was going to talk about Jake RETZLAFF, I was going to talk about CBS pegging Nico is the 14th best quarterback in the Big 12. We'll talk about that. I'm going to put that on the back burner. We're going to hit. I'm not one to sit there and dangle a carrot and hold it over your head that you got to wait 15 minutes into the podcast to figure out what the hell Shane's talking about. Well, I'm going to give it to you right up front here. It's been reported that Jake RETZLAFF, and the last source I saw was Mountaineer Paul. I don't think it's 100% sure thing, okay? I think West Virginia might be in the mix, so don't get too excited. He is a great quarterback, okay? He would have to enroll as a walk-on, which isn't really the best venue, but I don't know. I think with NIL, they can tweak it to make it Well, I mean, they can figure out how to work that. The other thing is with NIL, he's not going to be a cheap get. And Mountaineer Paul didn't talk about that. He's not going to come in for pennies on the dollar. I mean, this kid is a winner. Okay. We'll talk about his record here, but I mean, last year is 11-2, and then it was at like Riverside College. He was 12-1. Yeah, Jersey year. Yeah, if Jamari Robinson ain't eligible, you can use his money. Yeah, they can find the money, okay, but it's just not a good thing. And I'm going to go through all the bullet points on why I think it's not great. Is he the best? Would he start over Nico? It'd be a three-way tie. Thank Hayden. Appreciate it, brother. So, listen, it's not a sure thing. Man, I'm all over the goddamn place. Listen, if Jake comes in, we're going to talk about Jake more. It was not a sure thing that he'd start. He would be the best mix, but can you pick up a D1 playbook? I know he's played a lot of ball. Under 30 days, he would have to literally hit the ground in Morgantown next week, start learning the playbook, and then get after it. It's not that easy, guys. Not that easy. But let's talk about the pluses. You know, he is good. He has those wins. He has over 3,000 yards last year, 12 touchdowns. I mean, the kid is a baller. He's 6'1", has a just accurate arm, throws darts, man. Just throws feet, just straight on. He's a baller. Doesn't have the wheels of Nico or Henderson, but I have concerns. And in the thumbnail, I'll say my concerns. This is my biggest concern. What would this do? What would this do? Would it hurt the locker room? The fact that CBS came out with, pegs Nico, and I'm going to pull that article up so you guys can see it, so you don't think I'm making up. Yeah, thanks, Caden. Caden is Ohio State fan. He's a fantastic guy. So I'll put this up and show you what I'm referring to. It's not. No one thinks that West Virginia has a decent quarterback room. West Virginia, Colorado, BYU, and another school, I think Oklahoma State, all are searching for quarterbacks. They don't know who exactly the man is. So this one goes on to say, this is from Between the Years. Why such a low ranking for Markule? It's a great read. It says that he's the 14th best quarterback in the room. I don't think they remember, or they have a very short memory. Just watch that video of of his high school. He willed them to win on an ESPN game. I remember it was yesterday. I tuned in. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. These guys are getting smacked. And he scored like 14 points in the last 5 minutes. But all's not lost in Morgantown, guys. But is Rich Rod actively searching for this guy? Does he feel that he needs? This is my concern. Does Rich Rod have doubts in his quarterback room? Because that's the feeling I'm getting. So let's go to the chat, see what you guys are saying. Jersey Ear. Hey, I watched your show today. Fantastic show, Jersey Ear. Yeah, Nico was arguably better than Garrett last year. Gigi had some ups and downs, like the terrain in old West Virginia. So let's see what Eric Saub's saying. It's all about having the right players. Oh my gosh, hold on a second. Ooh, it's all about having the right players in the system. So Pat White was unknown as a quarterback before he got to Rich's system. Eric, I keep going back to that. I go back to Bernard getting hurt. And if you guys are a Jersey Ear, I know you're a younger dude. and you probably know your Mountaineer history, but I preach this all the time. I was sitting at the game when this happened. Bernardic got hurt. Thought, this is just going to be a big L. And Pat White came in and lit a fire under that team's ass. And the rest is history, like Wally Pipp. If you don't know who Wally Pipp is, Wally Pipp got hurt, and Joe DiMaggio went in for him. So, Kenny Evans, 2 questions. Is BYU QB coming to West Virginia? Is any transfer players eligible this year? Yes, those are great. Okay. Here's the thing. Let's talk about why he's leaving BYU. Why is Kenny, why he's leaving BYU is he was charged in 2023 for sexual assault. Everything was dropped. Everything was completely dropped. Something happened in discovery where they dropped the case. There's no settlement. It was just dropped. However, through that, he admitted to having sexual relations with the young lady. Premarital sex at BYU is an honor code violation. Okay. People on podcasts are giving BYU a hard time. Guys, you go to West Point, there's an honor code. You go to BYU, there's an honor code. Schools have different sets of standards. You go to that school, you put that logo on, you have to meet the mark. Okay? Don't bitch and moan to me if, oh, well, hey, I get it. I'm not going to school where I can't go hang out with the co-eds as a 21-year-old Shane. Okay? That's me. I'm not doing that. I'm not going, that's me. Okay? But you sign up there, that's part of the deal. Now, are they knocking on his door asking him, hey, you got a lady in there? You got a girlfriend in there? No, they're probably not doing it. They're not actively, enforcing that. But circumstances as they are, he got hemmed up. Now, was it kind of a stupid seven game suspension? That's harsh. That's the whole season. If you're upset, what do you think, BYU fans or the coach? A lot of BYU fans aren't Mormons. Most of them probably are. But, so that happened. They gave him, so a month ago came out in June. You know what, brother? 7 game suspension. And he's like, listen, I'm not playing this. I'm going into the portal. Friday, he made it official. Last Friday, he made it official. I saw it on the news. I'm like, this cat, there's no way in hell this guy's coming to West Virginia. And do I think he's coming to West Virginia? I really don't think so. But when I hear 2 sources that are fairly credible put it out, and it's Monday, July 14th, Shane is going to talk about it. So let's go to chat here. We'll get back to Ross, Jake Ross laugh. Whatever the hell his name is. So, Jersey Ear. Hit me up after the show if you can. In the chat, I'll send out a link to you. Let's sit back and enjoy the season. I bet this will be some grit. Here's the thing, guys. Rich Rod, I talked a little shit about him last week. And I wasn't trying to go hard in the paint. It's just, as a fan, I'm sick of hearing, well, I'm just here. He's been here 6 months, man. What I did like is media days when he talked about how soft the Mountaineers were last year. And how he's going to come in and smack the taste out of people's mouth. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm feeling as a Mountaineer fan. That's why even though my kid is going to be playing varsity football Fridays, and I'm going to be dog tired. There's going to be games on Saturday that I'm going to miss because I'm going to be going to those high school games. I still bought season tickets because that Pitt game is going to be legendary. Hell, Voice of College Football it's probably just finishing now. It's going up right now. they have that EA Sports simulation, and they lost against Ohio 2 days ago. That was posted. I was like, oh, this sucks. But I got into watching before the show. I almost lost time watching West Virginia play on a video game against Pitt. You want to know why? Because it's Pitt. Because it's Pitt. That's why. Sorry, Mike King. I apologize, brother. I'll do better. Okay? Mike, I'm sorry. All right. So I just get so amped up. Just so geeked out. Sometimes I have a potty mouth. Right? But everyone worries about what we lost. You know what? It's almost like a vending machine. Like, oh, that Kit Kat dropped. There's no more Kit Kats. Okay, how about a Reese's Pieces cup, right? Reese's cup. You're going to lose something, but you might gain something better. Just like Eric Saub said, Adam Bernardic got hurt. Pat White came in. Pat White did not have the most accurate arm. Not a super strong arm. I think he got a lot better as he started playing more. Also, I think because of his wheels, that secondary had to oh, shoot, this guy can run, right? So, Eric agrees with you. Kenny, but I'm going to tell you this. It's disheartening that West Virginia hasn't named a quarterback. Now, is it because, you're afraid someone might transfer, drop out, and then you don't have a backup? I think it's a little bit of that. It might be. Chad, what do you think? You think it's a little bit of you don't want to rock the boat? I think Rich Rod gives them a feedback after the spring practices to let folks cast their net out there if they want to transfer. But everybody wants to see Marco move up, and to have that RETZLAFF come in, man. I mean, everybody likes Nico in the locker room. He is a favorite, and Jalen Henderson is no slouch. Out of the two, I would probably lean towards Markiel, but you really don't know. And guys, I'm not seeing practice tape. I'm not. I'm sitting here like you guys, searching the interwebs, trying to figure out what Mountaineer team we're going to see. Fortunately, West Virginia doesn't start off the season with Penn State. Now, is it 2026 or 2027, Eric? Eric, look this up for me, Eric. Alabama. We play Alabama in the first couple games. And that's going to be, even though Alabama is not quite the Nick Saban Alabama, that's still going to be a hell of a game. That's next year, I think. But the fact that they have Ohio and Robert Morris, pump the brakes. We're gonna find out exactly who we have. It's gonna be a vanilla offense. You're not gonna have a lot of, but the defense is gonna be smacking people in the teeth. That's not gonna change. The defense, you're gonna see, West Virginia fans, you're gonna see for the first time. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to think. When was the last year, chat, that we had a decent defense? Maybe Jeff Castile years? No. Eric okay, thanks, Eric. September 5th, 2026. Does that open up recruiting for you guys? If you are a high school kid or maybe a junior college kid that Alabama or maybe Auburn snubbed, just not Alabama, you go over to Auburn, that's in Alabama, maybe kind of like close to Georgia. You go down there and you go to a kid that maybe Alabama or Auburn or an SEC school, Mississippi State, were sniffing around at, and you say, hey, man, you get to play a Big 12 schedule, and guess what? going to open up the season with Alabama. You can lay the smack to some of these guys. Didn't think you're good enough. I think that adds a little bit of trash talking, a little bit of street cred. On the back end of that, if Ralston comes in, kid had 3,000 yards last year. 29, like 34. I'll just say 3,000. I'm rounding up. And 12 touchdowns. That's nothing to sneeze at. Also, 2 years ago, 2023, he had a terrible offensive line. Still did pretty good. Had good numbers. Averaged 8 yards per possession. But listen, he doesn't have to sling it. Jaheim White is a sleeper Heisman contender, I think. Maybe that's being really optimistic. I'm not usually super optimistic like this, but hey, if you watch the tape on EA Sports where West Virginia played Pitt, Jaheim White looked like he was going to run away with the Heisman. I'll take that. And if you want to play the what-if game, I'll tell you what, I will take going 500, worse than 500 in the Big 12 if you beat Pitt. And that's exactly what Big 12 Media Days basically told Mountaineer fans. You know what? You guys are bottom of the barrel. You guys are last year's Arizona State. Well, here's some news. Joey and I were picking Arizona State last year in the middle of the pack, bottom of the pack. So did everyone else. And guess where they ended up? We know where they ended up. They freaking tore through the conference. No one could stop them. They're killing it. Arizona State. Hell, Joey and I were doing shows on each team and having a Magic 8-Ball pick who's going to win. And guess what? The Magic 8-Ball, and I say this every week, the Magic 8-Ball picked Arizona State last year to win. It was right. Joey and I were like, this is the stupidest thing ever. We're not going to do it anymore. You're kidding me. This Magic 8-Ball. It was right, man. Ooh, kind of creepy. But let's get to the chat. Earth, yeah, we'll be okay eventually. Yeah, guys. It's the first year with a new coach. Now, Rich Rod knows where to eat. You know, he knows not to go on the bike trails certain times of the year because there's some homeless people. He knows wings will lay. A little overrated, but still good. You know, he knows where the best places to eat are in town. Guys, he knows it. He knows to go to Del Monte to get pizza. But, what is it, Eric? What's that pizza place out there? Delslow. Shit, Delslow. Dormont. Like, I'm thinking about Pittsburgh. Shit. Delslow has a pizza place. I can't think of it, but he knows all the spots. It's not like he has to figure it out. He said that in media days. So he hits the ground running. There's no cultured shock. There's no getting every like Haas, the basketball coach. He's not even living with his family here in Morgantown. That's rough. And he says that was Michelle, you're so right. Michelle, welcome. I haven't seen you since January when you point. Michelle told me, guys, hey, chat, listen, I did a show in January and I just worked like 12 hours. I'm in a hotel room. I have a migraine. I'm doing a show. And I thought, we're talking about the schedule. I'm like, why are all the home games in the back end when it's cold? And Michelle goes, Shane. She goes, Shane, you dumb shit. It's not posted yet. It doesn't post for 2 weeks. But no, when he said where all the bodies are buried, I was like, he says some cringy things. I don't know. I say cringy things, so I can't talk any crap. But guys, listen. It's not good. West Virginia has as good a chance as anybody winning the Big 12. Do I think it's going to happen? Maybe not this year, but within 3 years, I think Rich Rod can get things right. And all starts on the D. Defense. And some plays. It looked like, if you think back, I think it was Oklahoma State 2 years ago that they were winning, and all of a sudden they had that. That's when they had the Hail Mary. That play in the end zone, the ball was ripped out of his hands. And if you are a meat eater, a dog, that doesn't happen to a team full of dogs. And I'm not talking crap on that kid. I forget who it was. I had selective amnesia, just brain dump right there for that. But, you know, Jalen Henderson and Mark Yule are neck and neck. Heck, even that EA Sports game had them both rated at 78. And I was kind of going to do a show, and I did the show, and I was going to crap all over their rating scheme, but they really get scientific with it. They watch footage, they watch film, they look at their athleticism, you know, their speed, how fast it takes them to make a play or a read. I mean, they write all this down, and they're just, I mean, sweaty, nerdy college football people or football people. They do it for Madden too. So, you know, I've been checking, you know, Locked On Big 12, Voice of College Football, all the shows. You know, Jersey Ear had a good rundown of players. You know, these guys out there are doing what I'm doing, and, you know, they're more journalists. I am just a fan. And that's the beauty of this show is you're getting what you're getting. It's Reaction Mondays. We're going to talk about how crappy I think they did or how wonderful they did. And it's going to be my heart on my sleeve, and you're getting it. And that's it. Hell, we might talk for 20 minutes about pepperoni rolls. I mean, I can't guarantee I won't go down that rabbit hole because I have before. But, you know, hell, RETZLAFF might go to Notre Dame. Now, I was told that might not happen, but BYU is in trouble. You're losing a guy that had 11 wins for you last year. They were picked to go, I think, to have like 10 wins. I would say losing this guy is like it's 2 losses automatically. You go from, you know, a ceiling of maybe 10 wins to maybe 8 wins. On the back end, if West Virginia picks this guy up, big if, we're going to talk about how that transfer would work, Kenny Evans. I think you're the one who was asking about that. He would definitely give the Mountaineers maybe 1.5 games, maybe the win. I would give them maybe 1-2 wins more than you would with Mark Yule. That's just a hot take. But what does he have to do to get here? Can't transfer. Can't take a scholarship. It's going to have to be a walk-on. Has to be very creative. He will have to walk on to the staff and walk on to the Mountaineer football program. And then they'll have to be creative on how they do NIL. And I'm sure they can do pretty good here. Jersey Ears. Yeah, the ball coach lives in DeVries' house. That's crazy. But, I mean, he said the whole basement is whole West Virginia swag, which is kind of cool. I was thinking about painting my bathroom West Virginia colors in my basement here. My wife won't care, you know. But, you know, so this is my office and studio. I'll give you a real quick tour. So basically, let me see if I can do this. You guys ready for the tour? So behind me, I have a squat rack and a safe over there. And this is just half of the basement that I use. Then I have a TV, 2 chairs, and a bunch of fishing poles. That's the studio. That's it. That's where magic happens. So you know where I'm coming from. I know Eric's in Morgantown. Do we have anybody that's outside of West Virginia? I know on the Steelers show I do Wednesdays, we have Patricia from Mexico and we have a guy from Australia that comes on. But, you know, one thing about Mountaineer fans is they're from all all over. No matter where you go, you're going to see a flying WV. I've seen it on a bathroom stall in Qatar. I've seen it on the side of an aircraft, over in Iraq. I've seen them in Germany. It's crazy, guys. And it was talked about on Three Guys podcast when they were talking to the basketball coach, Coach Ross, about how he was so surprised at the brand. Now with Rich Rod back, full circle. He can make the brand more recognizable. Think about this. 20 years ago, you had West Virginia being talked about on a weekly basis on just not even ESPN, but regular news, right? Your ABC, your NBCs, those news sources that usually didn't cover West Virginia. It's usually your Notre Dames, your Penn States, your Alabamas, your Georgias. We're hoping, we're hoping that the Mountaineers start to get a little bit of love, because this CBS article where CBS Sports pegs Nico is the 14th best quarterback in the Big 12 is baloney. So Eric, so best Roni rolls are at the Point in Preston County. Is that like towards like Independence, or where at in Preston County? Kingwood? Where at? I'll have to try those. Guys, I can't believe it. But what is the countdown? Well, it's July 14th. We have about 6 more shows before the first game of the season. Now, I can't promise, but I'm going to try to do a show the week of the 28th. I'm going to try to do a show that night. Can't promise anything. Taking my family on a vacation. But I might pop in and do one. I've done one on the road before. But guys, it's getting to be that time. And the Mountaineers, by Pitt, need to figure out exactly who the signal caller is. Now, if you go back to 93, you had Jake the Snake and Darren Studstill. They literally split time. One game, Jake the Snake would take 60% of the snaps. Studstill would take 40. Another game, based on who they're playing, Don Nealon would change it up. Be more run heavy with Studstill, pass heavy with Jake. Could we see a blast of the past with that, with a two-headed monster? Rich Rod did that with his last team. Yep, he did that. He would just rotate guys in. It was like, who's hot? Who would be the best suited for this play? And the skill set. Now, here's the thing. Nico and Jalen, their skill sets are very similar. So you're not going to give much to the other team when you see that guy in, because you're going to have the same skill set. Whereas back in the day, if Jake was in there, he was slinging the rock. If Darren was in there, you might have an option. Might be an option or run. But I know Eric remembers that. Jersey Ear, let me send you an invite. You want to come on real quick and plug your show? I'm going to copy this. Put it in here. Here we go. Here's the invite. If you want to come on and talk some Mountaineer sports, here we go. Usually we do this on Thursdays, but I'm going to invite you guys in tonight. If you want to come in and talk some Mountaineer football or have some questions, what's your take? What are the likelihood? Would you want to see Jake RETZLAFF in the old gold and blue? I think I'm okay. I'm going to roll the dice with Nico. Who we have? I am okay with who we have at the quarterback position. You got Fox, you got Brown, you got Markiel, you got Henderson. You got Henderson. You got a full quarterback room. And as you guys, okay, I just sent it to you. Hopefully it works. If it doesn't work, hit me up in the chat. We'll have Jersey Ear coming here. Guys, I am usually a co-host. Me being a single host it's just like a fish out of water. I'm flopping around. Heck, I even swore. I even chased a guy away. Who did I chase away there? Mike King. Yeah, Mike King got mad at me. Yeah, but oh well. So, Jersey, are you coming on? Are you having some problems? But Eric, so the best Roni rolls are Route 26 north of Albright. Is it the bread or the pepperoni, or is it just a sweet? Is it the combination, and you just have enough pepperoni with enough bread? Is there a little bit of sauce in there too, or was it just a dry pepperoni roll? Let me know what you think, Eric. Is that the combination? Eric is he is one of the shyest. I've tried to get Eric on the show. He's one of the shyest Mountaineer fans, but he's also one of the most knowledgeable. I'm not going to give away his age, but so let's talk a little bit about, man, I can't get over that. I can't get over that in this day and age, that football is at a spot. It needs to be regulated. We need to regulate. I'm going down a rabbit hole. I'm going to do it. Big 12 media days. I usually crap on Deion Sanders, give him a hard time. I do. Well, he was spot on. He said there needs to be guidelines, salary cap. There needs to be some bumpers on this bowling alley of college football. And here we are, Jersey Ear to the stage. Let's see if he comes up here. There we go.
What's up, man?
Good looking guy on here with his football helmets. Man.
What's up, man? Thanks for having me on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I was just watching you today. I'm like, this guy does a great job. This is wonderful. What a great show.
Thanks.
So I'm glad to have you on here. You know, I took a hiatus because my co-host Joey, he had to leave. He's having some health problems, and we miss him every day. And we couldn't find me a co-host. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to have rotating guys come in. If you'd like to pop in once a month, please come on. But what do you think the chance of Jake Ralston coming to Morgantown is?
So I'll say this before I start. I can't get in too many details because I am actually a teacher. So a lot of my things I say in my show, I have to watch what I say. So
okay.
You won't see me cursing or getting into the details of why I left. I'm from Jersey. I'm in Jersey Ear.
Okay, cool.
No, I don't really think there's a need for it. I mean, if we didn't feel confident going with what we had, I think you would have known that, right? Because we hit the portal at every other position after spring ball. So you know what I mean? Like I don't think it's that necessary. Unless he wasn't feeling that confident.
That's it. Because when I saw him, I'm like, oh no, that's not good. My stomach kind of sucked. Like he doesn't feel comfortable with what he has. That was my initial reaction.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. I mean, it's all hearsay. I like you said, man. Coming in at this point, I mean, camp opens July 30th, so you're talking 16 days away to come in and come into camp. I just don't see how realistic it is. I could see them. If there was another player to get at another position, I would say absolutely take the best available guy. But with where we are in the clock and stuff right now, I think that'd be very challenging.
Yeah, under 30 days, getting a guy in there that doesn't have like another year of eligibility under his belt. I don't think he does.
I think their main focus right now has got to be to try to get those waivers for those players. I mean, I think that's got to be if we don't have Jamori Robinson, that changes the season a lot.
That's unfortunate. I mean, I was staying when he came into town. Ty Keast, him, and like 3 other guys were staying at the Suncrest Hilton Gardens, and that's where I stay when I go to Morgantown. And I was in there January for like a week, and I see those guys coming in and out, and he looked really. Those guys look really athletic, you know. And I'm of course they're Division I ball players, but it's exciting to see these guys in person and interact with them. You know, occasionally just say hi, how you doing? You're sitting at breakfast before they go out. Someone picks them up, take them to the the facilities. When I saw that he might not be eligible or needs a waiver, I'm like, why? What happened? And Rich Rod touched on this when he talked about Noel Devine last minute going to Kinko's, faxing his stuff in on the 31st. I was like, what's going on here?
It gives me flashbacks to the Raekwon battle situation where, I mean, it just gives, it's like the classic West Virginia thing. Or a couple of years ago, we had the best transfer portal basketball class. And then obviously everything happened with Bob Huggins and that blew up. It's almost like you're holding your breath for what can go wrong, will go wrong, being a West Virginia fan right now. It's been pretty difficult.
Yeah, and that's the problem. It's like, as a West Virginia fan, but the thing of it is, as a West Virginia fan, we always have, and I think this is just sports wide, like no matter what, we're the most optimistic, pessimistic folks, if there's such a thing. We're optimistic, how would I say it? We're pessimistic, but we look on the brighter side of things, like
it's been harder recently though. For me, like my coworker is a big Penn State season ticket holder, and it's been a little embarrassing. It's been hard to defend ourselves right now. And I think I'm always trying to defend myself, and it was easier when we had like Will Greer there and things like that. The last 6 years has been really hard.
Yeah, but this is the thing I always point out to the Penn State fans. Why didn't Penn State schedule West Virginia from 2002 until 2015?
It just stinks.
West Virginia was smacking people in the teeth.
It just stinks. It stinks that the timing of that game didn't match up well for us, because they're playing at a level that they haven't seen in a long time, and we're playing on the opposite end of that level for a long time. So the timing of that was just really poor. It stinks because a few years ago that game would have been awesome. I love the those opening games. When we played Tennessee and Virginia Tech, those are great games, and it's just disappointing that we as a program have taken a step back. So hopefully with the new coach that can change.
Virginia Tech is one. I'm going to play a what if game with you. Okay. Would you rather? Okay. I would rather have Virginia Tech on the schedule than Pitt.
I agree. I went to the West Virginia Tech game in 2017. It was Greer's first game, and it was at the Washington Commanders Stadium, and that place was shaking. It was half West Virginia, half Virginia Tech, and even though we lost, I got my money worth for that game. I remember that was the first time my wife went to the game with me, and I'm like, man, I wouldn't mind if it was at Landover every year. That's how awesome the game was.
The fans are knowledgeable. They're smart asses, but they're somewhat respectful. Like there's the tit for tat. I like the environment. I like the Enter Sandman. It's much better to watch a game Blacksburg than Acrisure or Pines, whatever the hell they call it.
They're two similar brands right now. They're brands that their best days are behind them right now, and they're trying to figure out and trying to get relevant. I mean, I think college football is better when both Virginia Tech and West Virginia are winning games.
Yeah, absolutely. That's for sure. Now, Penn State, I really don't see. I mean, that unless you're like a generation before me, and I'm 50. I was on the back end. Like when I was in school in the early 90s. It was, they hadn't played West Virginia last time, played Pitt or Penn State. I'm sorry, 92. So 92 was like, and I came in right after that. So people were always jumping and John and saying, "Oh, we got to play Penn State." I live north of Pittsburgh. I could give two craps if I go to Penn State. I grew up going to Penn State games. It's just different. The fans just have it. There are a lot of fair weather fans where West Virginia fans are talking about football in July. Penn State fans, where I live, they don't talk about football year round.
I just think too we've never matched up well with them. I mean, even some of our best teams, it's just not a good matchup for us. I mean, selfishly, I'd like to see us play Rutgers again because I live 45 minutes from Rutgers. Even like a Syracuse, because then anything that's in the Northeast, really, or in the Mid Atlantic region. I'd love to see us play again. I said this on my show a few times. I think sometimes there's a disinterest sometimes in the fans, especially when our teams aren't playing good. When it's just like we're playing a random Kansas State or an Iowa State or a team like that. I think that the conference realignment has kind of ruined a little bit of the fan excitement sometimes. I think they would rather see us play, someone locally.
No, that makes. I was working at the military academy at West Point, and when you work there, you have to go to every Army game. And just by chance, West Virginia was playing at Rutgers, and I went down, and it was a fantastic game. And it was like a reunion. I saw about 15 people I went to school with. Like hey,
we have a big alumni base up here in New Jersey of West Virginia people. I honestly think that the West Virginia brand is bigger up here than Rutgers is. Truthfully, when you drive down the highway, you see more West Virginia stuff than you do Rutgers. I mean, I think schools like Penn State, Notre Dame, West Virginia are like the big ones up here. And I said, you see Rutgers stuff, but like a lot of people don't care about like football there. They just go to school there.
That sounds like Pitt. I mean, literally, they have a VA hospital. I go there maybe once every couple of years because I have to. And it's miserable because you see kids, no one's rocking Pitt stuff. You go to Morgantown, 1 out of every 3 kids is rocking a flying WVs on something. It might be a hat, it might be a shirt. You just don't see that. And I want to see kids rocking the swag. I don't care if it is Pitt stuff,
So anytime I wear a West Virginia hat and I'm on vacation or something like Myrtle Beach or something, it's a constant conversation starter. I mean, we always play a game like how many people are going to talk to me about West Virginia, and it's nonstop. And it's not just like the younger generation. It's like their grandmas and people like that come up to me and like, hey, are you excited for the season? The Mountaineers, and it's always such a great conversation.
Yeah, everybody in here is like, everybody had roommates from New Jersey.
That's why I started the channel, man, for Jersey Ear, because I'm like, you know what? There's so many people like from West Virginia, but there's like a voice for us New Jerseyans that I think that we love our Mountaineers just as much as people that do in the state of West Virginia. So I wanted to kind of give us like a mouthpiece of like how we feel about the team and things like that, and give it like a Northeast perspective, because there are a lot of us.
No, there are, and even in Pittsburgh, around here, and there's a lot of huge following for Mountaineers, a lot of alumni. You go down to South Carolina, what do they call it? The mid lowland or something Mountaineers. They have an alumni association that's huge. Even out in Missouri, I was out in Missouri, and I'm like looking, I'm like, this should be like black and gold tiger stuff, and you see a flying WVU. You see it in the strangest places. I saw a flying WVU sticker on a porta-john in Qatar, and I was like, what the hell is going on? So no, it's one of those things. I'm so glad we had you on tonight. Stay on after, please. I want to shoot the bull with you for about 5 minutes, if you will.
Actually, I have to put my kids to bed. My wife is going to get on me. But if you find me on Twitter under my Jersey Ear, or message the YouTube channel, I'll definitely reach out back to you. But I know my wife. I have 2 young ones.
Second, I'm going to private message you my number.
All right.
Okay? Hold on. So you guys just wait 1 second. We have Caden coming on here in a second. I'm going to shoot the shit with him, but I'm going to private chat him my phone number. See if he's still in there. Guys, StreamYard kind of changed the way they do things, and it's something to get used to, but it was so good to have Jersey Ear on as I'm talking and typing, which I can't do. So here we go. So yeah, Jersey Ear, just text me your number, because I don't do Twitter. I have a Twitter account. I don't use it. I'm terrible. I have a work phone, and that's the only phone I have, and I'm just terrible about that stuff. But thanks again, Jersey Ear. I'm going to bring Caden on here. Caden, it's been a minute. How you been?
Shano, what's going on? One of my favorite Mountaineer fans on YouTube. How are we doing, sir?
Good. And are you excited about the season for your favorite team? I don't even want to say it because I might get demonetized here on the West Virginia channel.
Listen, I got too much respect for West Virginia. Hell, I've got way more respect for West Virginia than Alabama. I'm going to be completely honest about that. I mean, the Mountaineers now, I said it before earlier, this could be the year that Rodriguez builds up a very good team. It starts off at like 9-3 and then goes on, maybe shoot into the playoffs, maybe not. Next year going to the playoffs. But I would be surprised if West Virginia in the next year or two goes to the playoffs. And, it could be Ohio State, West Virginia in the playoffs. And I would be literally pumped for that game. Literally, I'd be sitting on my couch with popcorn and a Mountain Dew ready to go. Because I know it's going to be some good football.
Mountain Dew. Well, I just watched a guy yesterday make Mountain Dew ice cream on TikTok. So when you said Mountaineer, I thought of Mountaineer of maybe a
Mountain Dew ice cream. But let's be honest, Coach Rodriguez being back in WVU has been a good decision. And not only is his knowledge about the game and, his experience with WVU, I mean, he was one of the best winning coaches at WVU, almost took it to a national championship. Well, this could be this could be his tenure at WVU, where he goes and actually goes to the playoffs with WVU. Hey, Notre Dame loses to West Virginia like 34-11, or West Virginia beats Clemson. I am honestly ready for West Virginia to make a bigger impact because the Big 12, everybody from the Big 10 and the SEC, and even my own fan base, hates me for saying we might lose to West Virginia in the playoffs. Literally, I've got messages on Twitter.
Oh, wow. That's a hot take there, Caden. I'll tell you, it's a hot take because I think West Virginia this year is an 8-win, 9-win program. And if they
said 9-win.
What's that?
I said 9-3 for this year, and then possibly 10-2, and then 11-1.
But isn't it amazing how like you look at a roster, you do a show 6 months ago, and you kind of look at what the roster might look like, and here we are 30 days out, and there's still a few little changes. I mean, think about coaching in today's day and age and trying to put a roster together.
Yeah, but the thing is here, if you don't follow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter at Hollywood Kate the Final Boss. Ohio State fans have been calling me crazy for saying we're going to lose to somebody from the Big 12 in the playoffs. Okay, our schedule is I mean, we'll win against Texas, we'll win everything else. If we lose to Michigan again, it's not going to concern me. I mean, we're going to be 11-1 in regard, are going to go have a ticket to the playoffs.
Yeah.
But it's who in the playoffs who we got to deal with. And if it involves WVU, I will literally come on this show. Yeah, y'all beat us, and that's in the Orange Bowl, in Columbus, or even in the national championship game itself. I will come on here and tell West Virginia fans that was the most unbelievable game I had ever seen on planet Earth.
Yeah.
I mean, two talented teams, and I'd say West Virginia now is more talented than Clemson right now, and even heck, Alabama. Now, Ohio State fans have been saying I'm crazy for saying that crap, but I'm like, I'm being honest. We're not the invincible. We're not invincible. Like, we are not invincible.
With you saying that, let's think about. Yeah, thanks a lot, Eric. I appreciate it. Hey, Cade, thanks for coming on. I'm going to close out the show so I can keep it under an hour. But thanks again for coming on, brother.
Hey, anytime, and you can follow me on Twitter at Hollywood Caden the Final Boss, and I'll drop you my number so in case you have any questions, or if you just want to follow me on Twitter, I'll drop my Twitter in just a moment. So, like I said, follow me on Twitter at Hollywood Kate and the Final Boss. I give more of my takes on Twitter too. And yeah, Shane, it's good to see you and hear from you as always. And as always, go Bucks and go Mountaineers. And who maybe know it might be in the playoffs, and I'll be pumped if it is.
Okay,
Woo!
take care. Bye. So, guys, we had a fun show. We had some folks come on, Jersey Ear and Caden the Diesel. He's an Ohio State fan, if you didn't know. Now, think about this. Paint this picture. West Virginia wins 9 games. That's to include their bowl game. Gets set up, has a great recruiting class, starts off with a win next year against Alabama. How can you not put them in the top 20? Next year, West Virginia's going to be a top 20 team. This year, I'll give you a better, I better just ask the Magic 8 Ball, because right now I don't know. It's like trail mix. You don't know what the hell you're going to get. After the Ohio game, we're going to talk about thoughts, and we're going to talk about where the Mountaineers are. But until then, we're going to have a good time just trying to figure out, put the pieces together this puzzle. Eric Saab, Eric Flowers, Kenny Evans, Jacob Yoho, Michelle, Kenny, Jersey Ear, guys, Earth, even Mike, that I swore and he got mad. Thanks for coming on and watching tonight. Guys, it's a good time of year to be a Mountaineer fan, because it's just around the corner. We're like 45 days away from coming into Morgantown, having a pepperoni roll, a little bit of moonshine, getting burnt, and watching the Mountaineers play. So with that, I will see you guys on Thursday for a live show where we're supposed to have the interaction and the folks talk. Today was just off the cuff, kind of. We had the opportunity to get somebody on that has another podcast, so we did that. But yeah, Thursday night, we'll be rocking and rolling again. That should be an 8:00 show. So tune in, click the notification button so you know we're going to be going live, and you're going to be catching us up until the season starts. And when the season starts, we're going to still do our Monday and Thursday show, and maybe a Sunday stream with kind of thoughts. Guys, take care, and let's go Mountaineers.